ハンイットだ。命までは奪わない。
Yo, what's good? Lad here. We've got another general pull unit added this Wednesday. It's been a while since the past travelers have been nothing but limited time units. Anyways, joining the rest of the travelers is EX Haanit. She is a fire dancer of the Fame faction, hailing from Valor. Her kit revolves around debuffing and dodging. She's the only traveler as of right now that can AoE debuff all stats without any requirements. She'll be a good addition to any fights against multiple enemies. Let's check her out. Her VA is Yuko Kaida. She has a lot of roles in anime, and also in video games as well. Most notably, she voiced Claire in the JP version of Resident Evil Remake. Pretty cool. Anyways, let's head back over to EX Haanit's skill. Her first ability is the SP cost of 45, it's a one-hit AoE sword and polearm damage attack, potency 150, and it inflicts a 10% physical and elemental defense down with a sword damage calculation. Her second ability is SP cost of 78, it's a 4-hit AoE fan damage attack, potency 35, with a moderate chance to inflict charm. Her next ability again is SP cost of 78, it's a one-hit single target fan damage attack, potency 150, with a 15% down for physical and elemental attack, and physical and elemental defense, along with speed and crit. Her fourth ability is her nuke attack, it's a SP cost of 59, and it's a one-hit single target fan physical damage attack, potency of 260, and it's 20% more potent if the enemy is slowed. The last notable attack is her elemental attack. It's a SP cost 52, it's a 3-hit single target fire elemental damage, potency 65, and it allows her to dodge one elemental attack. For her ultimate, she goes first, and it's a one-hit AoE fan, sword, and polearm physical damage attack with a potency of 330 at level 1 and 395 at level 10. And additionally, she lowers physical elemental attack and physical and elemental defense down at 5% at level 1 and 10% at level 10 for 2 turns. Taking a look at her notable support skills, she taunts all enemies for 2 turns onto herself, and she inflicts a AoE 15% physical and elemental attack down. For her passive, when using 1 BP or more, she goes first. Her second passive gives her a 50% chance of hitting some attacks, and then she has a 10% in fire resistance and 20 in ice. Taking a look at her stats here, she's physical attack orientated, which makes sense as her abilities are about dealing physical fan damage. Like most dancers, her defenses are lacking, so you definitely want to pray to RNGesus that her 50% dodge passive procs. The main question, should you pull? She's good. For a general pull unit, she's very useful against multiple enemies. By herself, with her kit focused on just debuffing, she's able to cap physical and elemental attack down to 30%, crit down to 15%, physical and elemental defense down by 25%, and speed down by 15%. This is of course if you use 3 of her abilities. Then finally, with her ultimate at level 1, an additional 5% to physical, elemental attack, and defense. Her A4 accessory is a flat physical attack of 40 and a 100 SP with an extension to debuff for 1 turn, and then a 10% speed down to start battle for 5 turns. Her A4 isn't all that great. She reminds me of a better TT. TT is able to debuff attack and defense, but with the requirement of needing to max BP her AoE lightning ability. EX Haanit also has the potential to be a tank with her elemental dodge ability and her 50% passive, pairing her along with a keeper that allows for physical or elemental dodge, and she'll almost never get hit. But to those who already have EX Fior, which is still possibly the best tank in the game for single target attacks, you can then just dedicate her role to being a debuffer. Then this brings out another dilemma. Against multiple enemies where she does best, in 2 turns using her taunt ability and her fan attack ability, she can cap out physical attack and elemental attack along with 50% to enemy defenses. Comparing her to OG debuffer, Viola, in 2 turns against a single enemy, Viola can debuff enemy attack to 20% with her anti-attack and defenses to 25% with her debilitate. For a 10% attack debuff difference, you'll have to ask yourself, is it worth to pull for EX Haanit if you already have someone like Viola, Liana, or TT, which again are all travelers that can debuff. Now longevity, she definitely has a place in the future. Her passive with dodging attacks with a 50% chance puts you in the mercy of RNGesus. But if it procs, it can be the difference between you winning or losing a battle. As we move forward, AoE debuffs and anyone is welcomed. Her one ability where she debuffs all stats is great to have. Her 4-hit fan attack that has a moderate chance to inflict charm is also good to have. Pair her with someone like Tatlock and you'll have 2 characters trying to inflict charm. Although having charm proc when it lands is another story for another day. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish up. With their design, I am a man of mid-riffs, so 5 out of 5. Voice actress, 5 out of 5. She's the OG VA for Haanit, gotta put respect in that. Abilities, for general pull unit, 3.9 out of 5. She's amazing at AoE debuffs and can function as a tank if you don't have someone like EX VR. Longevity, 3.8 out of 5. There's something about her kit that I'm not a big fan of. For the most part, she'll function mainly as a debuffer, even though she was given a nuke attack. And then I'm not a big fan of having a percentage of anything proccing. It feels like hoping for Joshua or Odette's passive to proc. Of course, a 50% chance is much higher than a 10 or 20%, but my RNG has always been bad. But that's just probably a me thing. For the most part, she's a solid traveler. Moving forward, global buff, 0 out of 5, would have been nice to have. Time limited, nope, nice to see a general pull unit again. Over impression, 3.85 out of 5. Again, for a general pull unit, her abilities are great. As an EX unit, she is as good as EX Primrose, in the sense that she's viable in a lot of battles. This Wednesday I'll be pulling on her free Ruby banner, perhaps 3 or 4 10 times pull. Let me know if you'll be pulling for her this Wednesday. I'll catch y'all next time. Like always, take care of yourself. Lad out.